Okay, this is today's workstation. Welcome to Moonrise Sugar Bakes. And let me tell you, I'm officially on day 2 of getting things going for this home bakery. I did so much research yesterday. I stayed up so late. I even posted a comment on Instagram and said, it is 11 o'clock, almost 11 o'clock at night, and I'm barely researching food handlers certification courses. And guess what? I did find one. It's online, and I am about to take the course. It costs $9.95, like 10 bucks, and I'm in the state of Texas. So I want to preemptively say, welcome to this channel. I will be doing vlog style snippets. Try to be as honest as possible on this journey without making myself look completely foolish, because I kind of feel that way sometimes. But I might share information that you might find helpful. And this is not about recipes, by the way. So today, and my advice to anyone like starting today or watching this video to get inspiration, as far as being in the state of Texas or any state for that matter, you want to go to your local like state or your local state government websites and look for cottage laws or cottage food law regulations and things you need to do to, you know, be up to par with that side of the business, the legalities. So I am going to, well, I already signed up for my food handler certification course in the state of Texas. That is what they require. Then later in this video, I am also going to just show, you know, some blog style stuff of coming up with a bakery style cookie recipe. By the way, I'm not reinventing the wheel on chocolate chip cookies. And anybody that says like, I've created this cookie, I'm the only one person to ever do it. It's 2025. The chocolate chip cookie has, like the wheel of chocolate chip cookies, it's all been done. So I'm not really going to be sharing recipes, but I will be sharing recipe resources. I'm just going to sort of take 1 or 2 recipes, kind of compare it, tweak them a little bit, and see how I can get it to work for my home bakery. That's all I'm doing. And I know I said in my Simply Mama Cooks video when I said if I did a chocolate chip cookie business, or if I did a cookie business, this is what I'd start with. Upon further research, it appears that the bakery style chocolate chip cookie is trending, and you know, the whole crumble cookie and Levain bakery like standard, it's what's trending right now. And essentially, if I'm going to go into business and be successful with today's consumer, you kind of have to give them what they want. Give the people what they want. If they want a bakery style chocolate chip cookie, I will deliver that. I'm going to work on that today. I still will try to integrate, oh, by the way, you're going to hear a lot of noise from my son. I will try to keep, you know, the classic chocolate chip cookie on my menu, but you know, it's all about branding, it's all about packaging, and we're going to get into that as I progress with these vlogs on this channel. But I just wanted to say welcome, and officially it's day 2, and I am going to start on my food handlers certification course. And I suggest, you know, if you're doing this, do that. But we'll come back. I'm going to see how long this takes. I have no idea how long it's going to take. Why does that say? I don't know how long it's going to take, but I am in my living room because I wanted to get out of my office. I wanted to feel like it's my day off, but I'm getting work done. Does that make sense? Like, I'm literally trying to psych myself up. Like, even through this whole process, I'm telling myself, you're going to be successful, Angelica, and it's going to be this like awesome, thriving cookie. My son. I am just approaching this as if I'm already successful. Is it delusional? Absolutely. But sometimes a little delusion and manifesting, just, you know, fake it till you make it. And maybe that's what I'm doing. Even if I have 1 customer, let's get started with this food handlers course, and I will be back. I'll let you know how long it took me, and yay, go team.
Especially if the food is not handled and prepared properly.
Okay, I'm done. That took, it was like a 35-minute video. I don't know why I was thinking it was going to be longer, but I have the certification of completion, so I need to figure out what the next steps are for this. So I'll let you know when I figure that out, but I need a break. So I'm going to probably cook some lunch or something. So this is probably not the best way to make steaks, but we are so hungry and tired in the oven. Okay, so I put some steaks in the oven. My husband went to the store and he's like, look what was on sale. And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, these gigantic steaks. I'm like, oh, geez. I didn't want to stand over the stove, so I just put them in the oven. But anywho, so that food handler's certification, it wasn't as complicated as I thought it was going to be. It took like it was a 35-minute video. I did take notes because I thought there was going to be a test, and there wasn't. But I still did learn a lot. And it kind of like solidified things that I kind of already knew. So there's that. I will put a link to the website for people in Texas who are like, where did you go? I went to just I think it's the Department of Health, Texas, whatever website, and you just kind of navigate the menu and it'll get you to where you need to be. Okay, but now that that's out of the way, I'm going to have lunch and then I'm going to try to come up with a bakery style cookie recipe that works for me. Obviously, it's not going to be that hard. Like I said, we live in an age or a time that there's so much information that you can Google and resources that people kind of help you out with that. Thank you, professional bakers that share the knowledge. So, like I said, I'm going to look at a couple of resources while I'm waiting for lunch to cook. And just check the description below this video. I will put stuff for you guys to check out. Like I said, if you are joining me on this journey to your own home bakery. But I wrote it in my notebook. I don't even know where I wrote this recipe from because I have been looking. Is this camera crooked, by the way? Let's see. Oh, there it goes. So I have been like looking on TikTok. I've been looking at YouTube. I've been looking just on websites. And I wrote this recipe for a reason, and I don't know where it's from. Okay, so I know I was like, I'm going to keep things a secret. Look, I'm going to tell you what I'm starting with today. So this recipe that I wrote down, again, I didn't even put where, who, when, why I got this from. Maybe it's yeah. Okay, so I'm going to measure out like the dry ingredients. Okay. So I am going to weigh, because I want to write this down, but it's basically 3 cups I have here of all-purpose flour. So 3 cups, whoops. And a baker's tip is to add cornstarch. Apparently that helps with like baked goods when you're, you know, like last longer, if that makes sense, the texture, so they don't dry out, they stay soft and chewy. I'm learning as I go, but there's that. Okay, so this recipe calls, I put 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, so there's that. 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking soda. 1, and then 1, 2, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Again, 1, 2, there. Oh, why did I do that? Okay, so this is the dry ingredients. I'm just going to give it a mix, and then let's work on the wet to cream all the wet ingredients together. Okay, I got my sugars combined, 2 sticks of butter or 1 cup of butter. This is unsalted. Let's start adding the ingredients. Sugar, cold sticks of butter. Some people think I'm sitting down. I'm not sitting down. Look, there's no chair here. It's literally me leaning over and I'm short, so there's that. Butter going in. I do like melted butter or softened butter, but I looked at a plethora of videos and all of them were like, use cold butter for the bakery style cookies or I don't know what. So we're gonna, like I said, we are testing today. 2 cold eggs. Okay, 2 eggs going in. And I'm winging this right now because I did not write any instructions from that recipe that I wrote on a paper. So there's that. And I saw a couple of videos that said vanilla bean paste works great in these cookies. So I'm gonna go with like 1.5 teaspoons, I think, because it's 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. But again, what am I doing? Okay, I just washed my hands again. I do that a lot. Okay, Let's start this slowly. Maybe lock the thing. Sorry, it's been a while. Okay. And for whatever reason, my old trusty stand mixer stopped working. Hand mixer. It's going to take the place of my stand mixer till I can figure that out. Here we go. Flour. Rice paddle? Why not? I'm going to fold in the flour. Okay, going in for the rest of the flour. Same thing, just going to fold it in. And I feel like the whole bag, right? It calls for 2 cups. Okay, going in. And then I'm going to continue folding this with my rice paddle. Such an official utensil in cookie making. Okay, so on my notes, I put 100-gram cookies. So I'm assuming that's like 100-gram like cookie dough balls. So that's what I'm gonna measure that out to. Okay, cookie scooper, here's the dough. And I'm gonna bring this one-handed. Okay, have that in grams. Let's see. Oh, okay, so that's 73 grams. Let me see. Okay. So yeah, that's about 100 grams. I'm supposed to just ball it up. And onto my baking sheet, because I'm gonna let it set in the fridge for a couple of hours, then I'm gonna freeze. And then just put it here. There we go. Okay, so this recipe that I just used yielded 14 100-gram cookie dough balls. And I'm going to cover this with a lid. And this is going in my refrigerator to chill. I'm not doing this right. What are you doing, Angelica? There we go. Okay, so that's ready for the fridge. I'm going to chill this cookie dough for a couple of hours before freezing. I saw a video or read somewhere that you want to chill first to allow everything to, the flour and the butter and any liquid in the cookie dough to kind of like saturate the flour, give it a chance to do its thing, then you freeze. The cookie dough is going to chill for a couple of hours. And I guess I'll be back when it's time to bake. And I just want to see how these come out. Essentially, when I'm going to do this business, you know, I'm probably going to have like a day dedicated just to cranking out like dough and prepping it. Okay, so I am going to bake these cookies. These are the smaller ones are actually store-bought dough. I'm just going to try those to compare to the homemade, but you know, either way. But these, I'm going to bake 2 of the ones that we made today, and the rest, I'm going to let them freeze. So like, if I look at the thermometer here, yeah, it's like at 3, yeah, I got it at 375. Okay, so let's put these in. Okay, these are pretty firm and cold, these cookies. They're not frozen. And I think I don't know if the rest, geez. So let's set the, okay, timer on. And I think I'm gonna do like, I feel like 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't want to undercook these, but I don't want to make them over, I don't know. So I went ahead and put it to 380 because I was like staring at the oven for about 30 seconds and I just felt like, let me just do what I wrote. See, this is the problem. When I do research, I'm so scatterbrained. I'll look at like 10 videos and then like pull from like 10 different recipes or 10 different like tips from 10 different bakers and like formulate a recipe. So quite honestly, what I'm doing is a pretty good ratio, a standard ratio of ingredients for like a bakery style cookie. Because essentially it's pretty close to a Toll House cookie, but with extra flour, which is what's going to give you a cookie that's not going to spread like a Toll House cookie recipe would. So I'm thinking maybe that's what I did. And for whatever reason, I put 380 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know where I got that number from, but it's there for a reason because I know I researched the heck out of this bakery style cookie. But like I said, if I give you resources for the bakery style cookie, the Levain Bakery cookie like dupe or copycat. There's so many that you can Google, but like I said, I'll find something for you. But I'm more than certain I looked at like YouTube shorts and Googled like websites for these cookies. And essentially all these recipes that I looked up is to kind of be like the Levain Bakery style cookie, you know, that recipe. But yeah, so I went ahead and put the temp at 380 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna let it cook for about 10 minutes. So that's done. It has been 11 minutes. Just be careful, don't touch the cookie. Get both hands if you have it. Oh. And I let them set on the baking sheet for like 3 minutes before I did this. Okay, so here's what I don't like about this. It's like cooked on the top, but the inside is very gooey. Like, look, I feel like it's raw and I need to put it back in the oven. So I feel like I need to give it like a, hey, little cookie mash, right? I don't know if I should do that, but I'm not liking the structural, like it's too raw for me in the center. So I don't know what I should do. I'm just gonna, I think I'll put it back in the oven. This is why I only tested 2 of them. I'm gonna put this back in the oven at 350 degrees. We'll see. Okay, so it has been an extra like 3 minutes at 350. And I'm thinking, if I had to bake, I'm thinking the flour is just too much for this. I just feel like it's soft. We'll see. But I think a 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour as opposed to the 3 cups of flour would probably be a better choice for these cookies. Because if I had to bake these from frozen, they wouldn't spread at all. They would just be like this round, you know, and super raw in the center. So I'm thinking if I have to bake these from frozen, lessen the all-purpose flour in the dough, and baking them from frozen at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for like 15 minutes. 15 to 18 minutes probably would work better. Okay, I got them on the wire rack here, and I'm just gonna let them cool completely. But yeah, I love the crispy edges, but I just think, I don't know, I just don't like an undercooked cookie. I don't like that. Even these from frozen are a bit undercooked for me in the center. Some people love them like this, which, yeah, I get it, because the edges are crispy and has like a very soft center, but it's a little too underdone. But I'm still gonna eat it. The cookie. So these have cooled, and I guess, oh, it's still soft. So here's what I do like. I like cookies that have this crust. Maybe a lot of people don't. And this definitely isn't like the, you know, the crumble cookie, bakery style cookie. I actually just think it's a really big cookie and the textures that I like. But again, I'm not selling this to myself. I'm selling it to people. So look, this is still kind of warm, but it does have a soft, chewy, gooey center. I don't know. Now I'm kind of liking this. Turn this way. So this is what it looks like close up. I mean, that is a good cookie. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know. So let me know. I mean, the soft bakery style cookies, again, I get that they are trending and people like them. I mean, even if they weren't trending, people just like those cookies in general, I'm sure. But this cookie has the chewy center. It is thick and chunky, but it has that soft, the chewy center and the crisp, the snap. It's a buttery, like thin shell that just, it's crisp, but it's chewy and chunky. You know what? I take it back. I think I'm going to work with this recipe. I'm going to test this out when I start making sample boxes for family and friends and get some feedback. But this, oh yeah. That's a good cookie. So I will see you next time. I need to get this whole disaster kitchen in order. So I'm going to be like, it may look a little cleaner and different next time, but I'm still going to work on my cookies. But that cookie recipe, I think I'm onto something. I don't know. Okay. See you in the next video. Bye.